What is happening, budget builders, and welcome back to the GMC Motorhome Rescue. If you're just now joining us, welcome. We're glad to have you. This is a 1973 GMC motorhome that we rescued from an abandoned piece of property here locally. This thing had been sitting for years. We got it running. We got it driving, and then we got it back here. Now, with sitting for years, there was squatters and all kinds of stuff. This thing was disgusting. We started cleaning it up. We stripped out this interior, and we have been rebuilding it using a brand new totaled camper that we purchased from Copar for just $950. In our last episode, we went ahead and rebuilt the original bathroom in this thing, obviously using bits and pieces from the bathroom out of that camper. And in today's video, we'd like to go ahead and finish up our plumbing and our electrical, and to do that, we need to go ahead and build our kitchen. And with that being said, just like everything with this camper, we have absolutely no idea what we're doing. One thing that definitely makes all of this tough, and the reason we ended up keeping the original bathroom, is these huge wheel wells. You've got to work around them. And so we wanted to put the refrigerator and the microwave on this side. So obviously that's not going to work. We weren't going to use this anyways. We're going to be attempting to scratch build our own cabinets. But with that being said, we've got to figure out how to incorporate everything that we need here. I guess let's go get some lumber, and I kind of tried to draw a picture, which I think we changed our mind on exactly how we wanted to do that anyways. It's probably going to change quite a few times. I don't know, let's just start cutting and screwing stuff together. Oh, that's nice. We're gonna leave a little bit of a gap, solid mounted to the floor, but leave a gap. I'm afraid if we have it too tight up top, as you're driving around, it's just gonna creak and scuff and scratch. Obviously, we're just using, what do they call it, a premium pine. It's still just pine, but it's a little better quality. I think the best option here, we were thinking about staining all the cabinets. The problem is I think we're gonna have to end up doing a wood countertop, like a chopping block countertop, and it would be wood on wood, and then the side panels are gonna be wood, as well as the wood on the floor. And with just so much wood in here, I think it would all end up clashing. I hate painting wood, but I think it's gonna look the best. I think it's gonna tie everything together the best. Now we get to try our new little Amazon special tool thing. The little kit comes with a clamp, or little angle driller thingies. Oh my goodness, look at that. That's fancy. That's pretty cool. I'm not sure you guys can see this, but it's neat. Wipe it off, put it back on. What do you want to do? I don't know. What's that to me? In this space here under the stove and right here, what we're actually gonna do instead of a drawer, we'll have one drawer here, we're gonna do shelves. So this is actually just gonna be a kick out like it was originally. Obviously, we only have about this much room. We wanna utilize every little bit that we have, put some pans or pots down in there. And then right here, we're gonna do a couple little shelves. Again, pretty shallow, but a little bit deeper, but it should be good enough to put some plates, maybe some cups and stuff down in this cubby, and then we'll just make a full swing outdoor. Now to do that, and make it look good and work well, I think what we're gonna go ahead and do, using our plywood here, this is that same plywood that we've been using on the sides. It's kind of a high grade premium plywood with a veneer. It is all wood, it's not like an MDF or anything. It should be good, especially painted, and it's actually pretty light. For the most part, the easiest place we've been able to find stuff, and I feel like anybody doing this, your local hardware store, Lowe's or Home Depot or something, unless you can find an old cabinet shop. So far, this is what we've been able to get access to, and this is what we've been using.
It isn't. Gap in the back, right around. That one's it'll be at the back. Take all the glue off.
Just going to do my lines, right?
Yeah, okay.
Both side lines, I think.
Might want to finish that off. See if it'll put it together.
To fill in our little slots here, we've got some little board stuff. Glue it, staple it. I think that'll look pretty nice. What is nice about this is it really doesn't weigh that much. That's one thing I think we got to be careful with the camper here, is getting too crazy heavy, because at this point I think we're going to be quite a bit lighter than we were originally, because everything in this thing weighed so much. One thing we did have to do with this front piece here is we had to get in here and trim it a little bit, because we have just a little bit of cup right there in the floor. I think it's the only spot in this whole camper. We're picking through every little bit here. A majority of our screws we're using are from the camper, trying to save on every little thing we possibly can with this. Turns out the suggested sealant for putting this up against here is actually an RTV, because this is high temperature rated. This will seal up really nice. It'll create a good gasket. It's oil and water resistant. And then we'll run a little bead just like it had from the factory. But as far as the inside here, this will seal everything up the way that we need it to. Cute little box built. Got our heater in place. Now that it's just warm enough for us, be able to test this heater out. Now to finish off the heater here, we made the hole size to use the original grate. And in our last panel here, the two holes, one will be for the solar controller, the other one is for the remote inverter control. We got glue all over it. We got glue all over it. Put that glue on it! That's okay. There. With just about 683 million hours into this thing so far, we were contemplating our countertop. We had kind of considered maybe just building our own, because we've done that in the past, gluing it all together. But for just over $100, we were able to pick up this butcher block countertop from Lowe's. And as far as time goes, I think that's the easiest thing to consider. We're gonna have to do some things as far as cutting, and we will end up using the little knife tray that came in the back of the other one, doing it the same style with the one piece and then the other piece, because the 6 foot of this was over double the price. So we're gonna make the 4 foot one do. I think hopefully it'll come out pretty nice. Continuing with the theme of using absolutely everything we possibly can from that camper, we will be using a majority of what we have here.
Oh man. That's nice.
Just like in the bathroom, I'm gonna go ahead and throw some epoxy resin down here on the bottom just for sealing purposes. This is easy, it dries quick. Although it might seem like clutter, there's a reason we keep just about everything. This right here is the template for behind our stove. We're gonna go ahead and cut it in this FRP, and then we have some wallpaper and a backing I think we're gonna put on there, a stainless backing. But at least we have most of our template here. The thing covers it. We do need this. We're getting there, and it's just about time to go ahead and paint this. But before we do that, there's a couple things we need to button up. One of those being our plumbing in here. We don't want to be hanging over all our fresh paint while we're doing plumbing. This is our hookup and everything. And then we obviously need the lines that go to the sink, our main drain that goes down into the drain, into the tank here. And then our lines need to come around, go to the water pump, the water heater. Glue on there. Please excuse the mess. There is stuff everywhere right now. It's kind of like a wood shop. There's just been so much going on with this step of building the kitchen. We need to get it wrapped up so we can get in here and clean. I think now it's time to go ahead and get this countertop top coated. We had considered polyurethaning it. The issue with that is it's a lot of steps. It's a lot of step after step after step trying to get it nice and thick. And so what we decided to try, it looks like it's got pretty good reviews, is this Envirotex Light Pour On High Gloss Finish. I don't know if this is a resin or what this stuff is. I think it's kind of time consuming, but it gives it a really nice thick coat. This is like what you put on game boards, like pub tables, so when you do like your pennies and stuff. Quite a few different little things that you can do, their bar tops and stuff. And so I think it should be a good option. I don't think we're gonna stain this. The stain just makes for an uneven look. This should darken it up a little bit, and there's gonna be some really dark wood paneling on the sides, but I think everything should tie in together once we get it done. Let's go ahead and mix this stuff up. So I'm gonna do 12 ounces of this stuff, right? Bloop, 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 bloop. And then 12 ounces of the hardener. It's mixed, it's clear on clear.
I said at least 2 minutes and then try your
2 minutes of stirring?
yes, skip it.
Oh my goodness.
And repeatedly clean your stick off.
Keep going. Looks pretty stirred up. Perfect. Yeah, but look how thick it is.
And she went from the edge and then, yeah, but it's self-leveling, so it just stretches itself out. I told you it's gonna be messy. Silly. Okay. They say to do this every so often. Swipe it, right? I'm not worried about this right here.
Looks like is after we pour it, we want to try to pull these bubbles. Use a torch. Oh my goodness. Pop. With our wiring and our plumbing tidied up under here, we're about ready to go ahead and get the countertop mounted, get all of our appliances in here. But before we do that, let's go to paint this stuff. A little bit. I had a feeling.
that one. Make sure, okay. That's your countertop.
I knew it. We could not get a stainless or stove back that was a large size for this. Technically, we don't need it to be too big, but I was thinking we would do most of this. So, went on Amazon and we were able to buy these little tile things. Not sure how they're gonna look, but it was pretty reasonable. I think we'll give it a try. How in the world do you take these things loose? Was hoping to get the doors and everything put on in this episode, but I think it's time to go ahead and get this video edited, wrapped up, and posted. This was a bit more than we had thought we were biting off. We were able to chew it. We were able to get it to here. The heater is completely installed. All of our wire and our outlets are now completely done. Stove, I'm gonna break, is all done. Hooked up, ready to go. Microwave working. Fridge, freezer in there cooling down. Carbon monoxide, propane alarm is on. Fuse block and everything here is done. Heater hose hooked up. Closet is done. We'll go ahead. I have this open still. So the way I wanted to do this was so that we still had access to everything here. We'll put a bottom in it with a little handle here so we can lift it up, have access to everything, but we'll close it up. And then we'll put the door on. Got our hanger here. Solar is all hooked back up. Inverter control switch is in. And it's in there. Now, was not too sure about the white. I do think it looks nice. It might start getting a little too modern feeling, but don't worry, we'll be tying a few things back in here to give it that 70s vibe. But it is fresh, it is crisp. I think it is a little bit nicer than the factory kitchen that these things came with. Pretty pleased with how it came out. Clearly we don't know what we're doing, but we're giving it a go. Really hope you all are enjoying and are pleased with the progress to this point. I think this style looks pretty good. We got to get a few more pieces, then we'll build our upper cabinet. We'll get the vent put up in here, and then in our next video, we'll finish up our doors and everything. We'll start working on our seating, getting our walls on and our bases on. And this thing really is coming together. I think that was the last major, extremely time-consuming thing. The rest of this, I think, is going to fly. We're going to have this thing knocked out. We're going to be able to go enjoy it. I really hope you all have enjoyed the progress to this point. The rescue of this abandoned motorhome. If you have and you haven't already, be sure to subscribe button, notification bell to keep up with our future uploads on this and our other rescues. And if you haven't been a part of the channel, you've been following along, we do appreciate it so incredibly much. Dad and I are having a blast bringing this thing back, but that's going to wrap it up. Peace out and catch you all on the flip side.